Alright guys, welcome to the latest episode of the Tamiya rx7-r1. Today we're going to cover a little more detailed work on the body. As you saw the last episode, we have the body all painted up, all the body components done and ready to be installed, just waiting for clear coat. Now, while I'm waiting for that, I thought I would go over a little something that will add a little more detail to the body. We're going to go over some panel lining. Alright, let's get into it. Alright guys, here we go. We're going to get into it now, and we're going to take a look here. Here we have, I've done half the car basically with the panel line paint. As you can see here, you can see the rear hatch, how it denotes the separation line between the rear hatch and the body. Here's the door, plus the fender vent. And here you can see the biggest difference is we have one headlight that's done and one that's not. Now remember, I still have to clear coat this entire thing. So, but here you can see what a difference the panel lining makes. Such as a comparison between this side of the body and this side. So let's go over it right now. We'll see exactly how we get it done. Now, there are many different panel line paints out there. My personal favorites are the Tamiya panel line accent colors. I'm using black on this one. They come in many different colors from Tamiya. You can also use craft paint to do panel lines. You can use other different washes made by other different companies, but Tamiya has always been my favorite. And it's really a very simple procedure, as panel line washes are just extremely thin paints that use capillary action to suck the paint into whatever area you want it to go. And it's very simple as just touching the paint to the part you want to run into and letting the paint do all the work. Don't know if you can see that, how the paint just runs into the body line, and you just keep feeding it there, and it'll just run right into the line, filling it in, does all the work for you. Now we're gonna hit the other side. Put a little too much paint there, but as you can see, just let it run in and it'll carry itself all the way through the line there. Here you can see it traveling till it meets the other line of paint that I put in there. And then the door is, for the most part, done. Then you just look for any areas where you might need to add a little bit more, and we're done. Now, the beauty about the panel line paint is that if you do get a little bit over, some people use lighter fluid to clean it off. I basically just go into it before it's completely dried and wipe it down to make sure that we have paint only where we want it, right there. You can see right in the panel line. Darkens it up, gives you a nice solid demarcation between the door and the rest of the body. Now we're going to do the fender vent. I would like to wipe off a little bit of the excess so we don't spill too much on the body, because the less you clean up, the better you are. Then just touch it right to the crevice that you want to fill, and let the paint do all the work. And then you'll have just a tiny bit of cleanup, and there's our Fender Vent. Now, as it dries, it does become a little less harsh and kind of fades in a little more. All right, now we're gonna do the headlight, the pop-up headlight. Let's make sure we stay in the camera here. Wipe off a little bit of the excess, and then we just, I like to start on an edge where you have less of a chance of getting it on the body, and then you can watch it as it fills in the panel gap that you want to darken. And again, if you get a little bit on the body, just do a little bit of cleaning up. Sometimes you can just wipe it off with your finger. That's how thin this paint is. All right, that takes care of the headlight. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the fender gap. I go right at the edge there so that reduce any chance of getting on the body, and just feed paint into a crevice until it fills the line that you want to fill. And there we go. There, we're done. Now you see how quick and easy this is. It's a simple method of just adding a little extra detail to the body. Oops, and as I hit the, now we're going to do a little, the fuel door. And there we go. And here you can see the fuel doors. The paint's just traveling to fill up the area of the fuel door. And now we just clean up a little bit of the excess we have there. And there we go, we have our fuel door done. Okay, last lines now are for the rear bumper separation point. And I start up here, and this area will be covered by the tail lights, so if I get a little bit in there, it doesn't really matter. There we go, just feed it in, and we are done. And now we'll do the other side. Just feed it in there. There we go. Feed the line. Feed the line. That's the whole secret to this. And the paint, as I said, will do all the work. Now it also helps if you deepen the panel lines, like I did deepen the panel lines on this particular model. Just a little bit, just to make sure that it soaks all the way in and gives us nice shadows. And there we go. We have our RX-7. All the body lines now have their panel line paint in them. Just a little extra detail that brings out the realism in the kit a little bit more. Let's pull out a little bit on the camera here, so that as you look at it, now even at a distance, you can look at it and you can see how the door stands out more from the body. And I keep hitting the light and the camera. You can see how the door stands out more from the body, and it just gives you a more realistic look of the shadow of the line of the door. And it's very simple. I like to do this before I clear. This way I get all the body work done, and I'll do minimal handling of it as I get ready to, as the clear is added and done. Alright, now the only thing left is to mask off the windows for the black trim, which that will be done after the clear coat, as this is a semi-gloss or flat black for the rubber seals. Probably do it on a semi-gloss. So that I want to do after the clear, because I don't want it to have the same shine as the clear. And this here, so the body will be, so the only thing left now is to add the decals, front bumper, rear bumper, and then it'll be ready for clear. Alright guys, that's just a little bit of how to add some extra detail to your model. And now we're off to do some decaling and then some clear coating. Alright guys, if you know all about this panel lining, it's great. Then this is nothing new to you, but you new guys out there who are getting into the hobby, it's fun and interesting way to add some some detailing to the car, especially if you're doing spaceship models or like Gundam, Japanese robots and whatnot. Panel line paint can add a lot of detail. Just give you an example is my monogram Battlestar Galactica. All of that is done with different washes and panel line paints to really bring life to the kit. Particularly a kit like this that was somewhat lacking in detail. This just totally brings it to life. So go out there and do some panel lining and have fun with it. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. And I guess I will see you on the next one, where we will be getting ready for clear. Alright, I'll see you then.